Kathleen Harry, your conscious coach, and I am so glad you joined me today. I wasn't on, I'm on Facebook now. I was looking for it. I'm on Instagram, but I wasn't on Facebook, so I was looking for it. So, how is everyone? I hope you are enjoying your Monday. Happy Monday to you. It's July the 20th. I promise you guys are live at 6 o'clock. Of course, I would have technical difficulties. We had this yesterday. I got in contact with the company and yada, yada, yada. So, who knew? But anyway, that's how technology rose. But thank you guys for joining me on this live today, where I will be doing the intro to my book. So you think you want to have sex? It came in the mail the other day, and I was so, so, so excited. And so we're going to go over what's in the book. It's pretty much like what you could look forward to and just an introduction to the book. So get ready because that's what we're about to do. Give me just a second. Try to see why I'm not showing live here. Don't know what's going on. How can I pin that? So let's see. I'm good over here. Everything is on and on. Got it. Now I see what I did. Wow. It does different things. All right. So here we go, my friends. Here we go. All right. So do you guys see me on Facebook? Because I don't even see me on Facebook. This is becoming frustrating. I don't see me on Facebook. Let me go ahead and click on and off these buttons and see what happens. It says connect. Give me just a second here. Sorry about this inconvenience, guys. Oh, I see me. Okay, I see me. Got it, got it, got it. All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, this is the intro to my book. We will be talking about that today. First of all, let me check on you and make sure you're okay. How is everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on into the live. Can't wait to see your faces. How is everyone? You know, we're dealing with this COVID-19 and all of that. So I have to check on my people and make sure you're okay. Make sure you're good. So, how are you guys? Are you good? Are you staying safe? Are you practicing social distancing? Huh? Are you wearing your mask? Are you doing the things that you need to do to keep you and your family protected during this time? I hope so. I really, really, really hope so because I need you to be around. When all of this is over, I need you guys to be around. Do you understand that? Do you? Do you understand that? I'm sorry for pointing. Should never point. But I need you guys to be around. So today I'll be introducing you to my book. So you think you want to have sex, a conscious mind guide to increase sexual responsibility. And I'm passionate about this because I'm passionate about the future of our children, right? You have to be passionate about something like this in order to even have the mind to write a book about this. And why do I think this is important? I think it's important because we want to increase the number of individuals in our race who have a successful story, a successful life, right? We want to, you're going to hear me say this a lot, we want to get rid of the struggle stories, right? We want to get rid of the struggle stories. We want to get rid of the baby daddies, the baby mamas. My son inspired me. My daughter inspired me to graduate from high school, to graduate from college. You can have other inspirations. family can inspire you. And that's one of the things this book does. It allows your family to become that strong leader in your child's life or in the child's life. Okay? And so this book is super important as we're in quarantine right now, right? We have our babies at home. We want to teach them. We want to show them. We want to improve their lives, right? We want to add to who they are, right? And so this book is super, super important. So, so you think you want to have sex. First thing you're going to see is basically the normal stuff you see in the book, my inspiration, acknowledgments about the author, say a few little things about myself in this book. The next thing you're going to see is the welcome page. The welcome page is just me basically giving you my vision, sharing with you my vision for the book, letting you know that I am concerned about our sexual health, especially our teens, who, when I read the Gutschmarcher report and reports from the National Institute of Health, all kinds of reports, which I list in the back of the book, and websites where I got this information from. When I read the report, I found out that African American children are number one for sexual activity. Now, there are three different categories. Well, not it's more than three different, but I'm going to go over three different categories when it comes to sex. There is sexual intercourse. That means penetration. There is sexual activities, which could be anything from oral to anal to touching to fellatio, which is oral. Any of those things. And then there is pregnancy, teen pregnancy, and STDs as well. So that's four things. So you have teen pregnancy, which is a different set of numbers, STDs, which is a different set of numbers, sexual intercourse, which is penetration, which is a different set of numbers, and then you have sexual behaviors where they're engaging in these different types of sexual behaviors, be it oral, be it anal, touching, whatever the case may be. This book in particular is going to deal with all four, but this is not like a book to educate a college student who's studying, to get a degree in something. It's not that type of book. This is not a book that I would use to instruct or educate on a professional level when you're trying to get a CE credit or something like that. This is a family book. This is me bringing lessons to families that they can teach their children and that they can learn from, that you can actually implement almost immediately. Well, immediately. And so it's not about me educating you on the stats and the numbers and all of that, because we've been doing that for years, right? We've been hearing this for years, right? We've been hearing about how black people or black teens are having sex, having babies, catching STDs. They're number one on the list, blah, blah, blah. We've been hearing this. What I want to do is offer us a tool that we can use at home that will help us, right? And that is what this book does. I can talk about you all day, so you think you want to have sex. I can talk about the kids all day. We all know. I hear people say it time and time again. They're doing it. It's nothing you can do about it. Kids are having sex. Give them a condom, give them birth control. Well, this book is not about giving them condoms or giving them birth control. This book is about giving them a conscious mind. Because for some reason, we have this attitude or this mentality that our children can't learn, that our children can't hear, that our children can't achieve. And so we don't really come to them with this level of information, to help them develop their conscious mind. And that's what I am, by the way. I am Kathleen Harrod, and I am your conscious coach. And I want to help you develop your conscious mind. I want to help your children develop a conscious mind. When we were growing up, think about this. I'm an 80s and 90s teen. In the 80s and 90s, I was a teen. And when I was coming up, everybody was pregnant. And I'm saying everybody. It wasn't everybody, but a lot of people. A lot of us were preggers, right? A lot of us were pregnant. I'm going to turn this volume down just a little bit because I feel like I'm yelling over it. So a lot of us were pregnant, right? A lot of us had babies. My daughter, what my oldest daughter is, I think 32 years old, and I'm 47. And then I had a daughter right after that daughter, maybe just a year later. She's 31, I think. And then I have a son, which I was pregnant with my last year of high school. Talk about dysfunction. Talk about not having a guide. Talking about completely lost. That was me. And it's sad today when I see that we still have a large number of teens who are still following in those same footsteps. And so I wanted to give them a tool to help parents, to help the community, to help the teens to not go down that road and have that same experience, which I call in the book the struggle story. It's like we're passing this struggle story on from generation to generation. And some of us call it a curse, right? We said we're cursed, but we're not cursed. It's not the generational curse, it's the generational choices. And I know we don't want it for our children. We want them to do better. We want them to make better choices, but are they strong enough? Do they have the right information? Have we connected them to the right source? And I'm here to contend today and say, I am that source. This book right here is your source, right? A lot of you guys know me. You know I'm a minister. You know I'm an educator. I'm always educating. And in fact, my associate's degree was in education because I wanted to be a teacher, but I'm not the type of teacher that wants to be in a classroom all day with 30 kids that I see all year long. I want to educate the masses. And so this is what I do. And then I continue my education in psychology, which I am still doing today. So working on that now. So this is just what I do. And so, like I said, coming from a background where we didn't make good choices, I wanted to elevate, right? I wanted to elevate just not myself from what I had learned and what I know, but I wanted to elevate my people, my community, right? I wanted to elevate us, right? It's not just enough to take care of you. And we're learning that, but it's not just enough to take care of you. You have to reach back, right? You have to reach back and take care of others. That is what we're supposed to do. And I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson from having children early, from being a single mom, from the struggle stories, from being on welfare, which I wasn't really on welfare. I never really got a welfare check or food stamps or anything like that. So I really got a struggle story because I didn't have help. And then on top of that, I barely got any child support. And so people would see me working 2 and 3 jobs. Look, I had to. And even with that, I didn't even get Section 8. I got Section 8 for like 3 months and they kicked me right off of it because I always been a hustler, I always been a worker, I always had me 2 or 3 jobs. So, thank God for utility assistance, Section 8, food stamps, welfare. I'm not knocking any of that stuff. All I'm saying is that I want us to come out of these struggle stories. And so I kind of went back to my childhood and I'm looking at all the numbers and I'm talking to children and I'm talking to social workers as I've always done. I've always found myself in that zone and I'm learning. I'm learning that we can have all this information, but if we don't bring it back home and teach our children and show our children and help them evolve mentally, that none of that other stuff that it's not going to make any difference, right? I can teach you how to wear a condom. I can teach you to use birth control. But the real question is, why are you even wanting to have sex at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old when we know you can't buy a pamper, you can't buy milk, you don't even have a place to stay? And we certainly don't want you to enter into the realm of the struggle stories where you get an apartment in the projects and you need all this assistance. We want you to wait until you're ready. And if some teens can do it, that means all teens can actually do it. Now, will they do it? They at least they'll have an option, especially after reading this book. So the first chapter is just a welcome, right? I kind of give you my vision. I kind of tell you the objectives of what I would like to see done within the families, and build up the expectation and let you guys know that we actually can do this. You know what I saw the other day that was funny? I saw a woman who had trained a dog. Trained a dog. She had all these little buttons on the floor that were like you push the button and it says the word for you. She had trained the dog to walk in the house and to ask for what it wanted. So if the dog like wanted to go for a walk in the park, it would push the button, kind of like this button right here. Let me show you this button. This is like it was like these big buttons on the floor. Now this is my goofy button, but anyway.
Us is pretty tired. This pretty good. The next thing you know, you're shaving your beard and wearing capri pants.
This Duck Dynasty. I used to love the show. But anyway, she had buttons like this on the floor, and the dog could walk up and push the button and say, "I want to go to the park. I want some water. I would like some food. I want to cuddle." I don't know, whatever the dog wanted to say. She had buttons on the floor. I was like, "Are you serious?" And here we are as Black, intelligent people, and we don't realize that here, this thing right here, this gray matter that's in here, is in all of our children. It is in all of our children. They all possess the power to learn, to be educated, to grow, and to evolve. And yet, we're not giving them the tools to help them be successful. We're not having the conversations that will help them be successful. We're not guiding them. They're just living without guidance. And so, this book, So You Think You Want to Have Sex, is a guide to help our babies. Chapter 1, I just lay out my vision, kind of give you all the little nuggets, kind of like what I just gave you. The second chapter is Why Should We Lead? I paint a picture for you as to why we should be the leaders in their life. Not Meg Thee Stallion, not Rowdy Rich, not Lil Nas, not people they see on TV, not the dude in the neighborhood that got all the chicks, not the dope girl or the bad bee walking around the neighborhood. Do you all realize who's influencing your children? And to be honest, not even a toxic auntie or a toxic uncle who is feeding them all this stuff about have sex, sex is great, sex is a responsibility. That's what it is. That's what it will always be. That's why you hear people crying about baby daddy. You know why? Because they just walked into a struggle story. And it's more than any one person can handle. It's to be a single parent. And we want to help them avoid that. So chapter 2 is Why Should We Lead? Chapter 3 is the beginning of war. I want you to understand in this chapter, I want you to understand that your children are in a constant war. When is the battle in your life? When is that crazy battle where you're trying to figure things out and blah, 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 and it seems like you're really trying to figure out your life and you don't know which way to turn? Those are going to be your teen years. You're going to struggle during your teen years because they're your teen years. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to figure out, what you want to be in life. You're trying to figure out, what your life is going to be like. What are you going to pursue? So the beginning of war, when they're teens, it's on and popping. You understand? They're trying to figure things out. Number 4 is who has weight. I then begin to show them and to show you how we end up being in the struggle stories compared to having the freedom to do and achieve the things that we sincerely want to do and achieve in life, right? I have an analogy in there where I talk about the door and how we have to understand we don't want to be the hinges. We don't want to be the ones bearing all the weight. We want to be the door. We want that freedom to go, to come, to welcome, to enjoy. And so it's really good. Chapter 5 is Do Not Put Your Baby Out There. I talk about how we are so influenced by sex. How we can't even wait for our children to mature before we're telling them, you look good, you sexy, ooh, you look nice in that. Oh, you gonna get all the girls, she gonna catch all the boys. Oh, she gonna be a problem out there in them streets, girl. Look at her shape, blah, 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 blah. And then we dress them like they little grown people instead of letting them enjoy life. You can be cute and you can be fly without exposing yourself. Yes, I don't have a problem with a girl wearing a halter top or a midriff or all of that. But then you put her on 30 inches of hair, lip gloss, all this stuff, which she's still, and he is still entitled to be a child. But I even heard a teen say the other day, just let me be a child. I ain't trying to do all this. I just want to put on a t-shirt. I don't want to hear nothing about my body and all this stuff. I just want to have fun with my girlfriends, with my friend girls. The sixth chapter, just moving along, is the boardroom, making time for a family meeting. Here, I talk to you about how important it is to communicate with your child and to grow with them, right? Don't just leave them behind. Don't just act like, oh, this little puppy love. Don't just do that. Let's have a time set aside as a family where we take the time out to provide actual guidance. I think in there I talk about how when you're at McDonald's, don't just be at McDonald's eating a bunch of fries and burgers and all of that, which I know we're on quarantine now, but y'all still be going out and getting that food. Use that time as a time of guidance to share stories, to allow them to share what's on their mind, right? So create moments, fixing the mind to save the body. So this is really helping you to paint a picture of your life, of who you are. One thing I mentioned in the book is they were asking me, do I want to be on birth control? And they didn't even know I was a writer, a poet, right? A speaker, that I wanted to play an instrument. Like it was so many things that nobody was focusing on helping me grow, but they were focusing on birth control. I could have controlled my own birth had I had the right tools, had I been motivated in the right direction. And I don't think we do enough of that, right? Just telling your kids you can give them a condom and birth control, that is not sexual responsibility. That's just stopping them from having a baby, right? Which, I mean, that's a part of sexual responsibility too. You want to be responsible. You don't want to be passing around STDs and all of that, but that's not my focus. All right? So fixing the mind to say the body. Then next is body control is a serious thing and failure is mental. Because I want to paint a picture to you that being able to control this, right, is more mental and spiritual than it is anything else. So we talk about your emotions. We talk about the single parent home and how the child is struggling, how when there's an absent father in the home, you're going to have emotional imbalance. You're going to have a financial imbalance. You're going to have a mental imbalance. You're going to have all of these imbalances. So how do we balance that out? So in turn, they're able to control their body because they are in control and understand finances. They understand emotional trauma. They understand mental fatigue and mental anguish. We have to take all that into account if we're going to talk about educating them and providing tools to teach them sexual responsibility. Because they're not just looking for a boyfriend, they're looking for a father replacement. They're not just looking for sex, to be held by someone. They're missing being held at home. So you have all of these parts to life that we want to educate them about. You understand? So then the children, I speak directly to the children in this chapter. It says measure the decision, the measure of the decision is your calculation. So then I talk in the book about a shift where everything can't be on mama and everything can't be on daddy. You have to shift that responsibility to the children too. The child has to understand what they are actually getting into. They have to understand how they have to be prepared for life before they can do activities that could possibly bring a life into this world. And so that part is important. The next chapter is understand what the end will look like. Again, continuing to educate them, continuing to let them know, look, you can't afford a glass of water. You can't afford your backpack. Look, school's about to start. Can they afford to buy their own backpack, books, shoes, whatever they need for school? And right now we're on quarantine, but we won't be in quarantine forever. Can they afford, even on quarantine, to buy their own pack of pens and pencils? They'll be using a Chromebook or computer. Can they afford to purchase that? Well, then why are you doing activities that's going to cause you mental stress, frustration, the use of your body, right? That could cripple you financially and move you into those struggle stories. Now, the next chapter is figure it out, right? You're going to notice throughout the book, I asked you to answer questions. One of the things in the intro I asked you to do is to purchase 2 notebooks, a shareable notebook, and one that they can have to write in privately. I mean, on their own, one that they won't be sharing with you. Not that it'll be like a secret notebook, but just giving them an opportunity to start thinking things out. And so figure it out. That's a real good chapter because it really leans on the family to become the support system that the child will need throughout life, but especially through their teenage years. It really lets the family see that we are the influence. It's not everyone is wrong. So here I'm teaching that your teen or your child to not dismiss what you say as the adult, as the authority, as the person that they come to as a resource, right? Because you can have all this influence from social media, from friends, from other relatives, but at the end of the day, if you get pregnant, if you get an STD, whatever you're dealing with, the person who's in the home, the parent, the one that's in the leadership role, is the one who's going to have to deal with it. And so you got to understand that this person is on your team, right? I never forget that I had a teenage young lady who used to come to me as a mentor, and she was in a home that was, not conducive to what I like to see for any teen. And she came to me, and she was struggling, and she came to me and she said, look, I do not want to, let me apologize for Instagram because my camera has clicked off. Sorry, guys. I'm going to post a video on my IG stories. I apologize. So she came to me and she was telling me about how things were in her home. And I already knew because I already knew about the drug issues and all of that. Make a long story short, my advice to her was, you may think you're in a rough situation right now, but here's the deal. It could be worse. And here's the deal. You get to grow out of it, right? That's the beauty of being a teen, is you get to grow out of it. So they don't understand that at 12 and 13 and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and all that, they don't understand you're growing. So your life is going to change. Opportunities are going to change. You're learning who you are. And so what you don't want to do is ruin your future with an action that you take today. And so not everyone is wrong. You got to learn to listen to the people who are there to support you and to guide you. The right way to dominate. And so again, I talk about the right way for you to win, to think things through, to really contemplate your future, to make plans. After that, I talk about lose a bad attraction, know the facts. So I'm really going in right here on, people think, oh, he was attracted to me, and why am I attracting this type of person? And we feel like because we're surrounded by it, or because it's in our life, we feel like that's the thing for us. When it's not. Sis, just because the captain of the basketball team, or the player of the basketball team, or the dude who drives his own BMW to school, got his own car, just because he tries to talk to you, you can't put him up as a god. Like, oh, this must mean I'm important, or this must mean I'm supposed to holler at him, or I'm supposed to talk to this chick, or whatever the case may be. you really want to know what's behind this. Like, yeah, you want to talk to me, but what's behind this? What does that really look like? You know, you can be attracting all the wrong things that's going to cut off the life that you could potentially have and the experiences you can have in life. There are some beautiful things out there to experience besides sex at the wrong time. And it just is. So the next one is a time to be aware of dangers and safety as always. So I really just talk about in this chapter that you always have to be conscious. There's not a day that goes by that you can just relax. Well, you'll always be relaxing once you build your conscious mind. But I'm saying there's not a day you can't not use your thinking process to think about the choices that you're going to make every day. Every day. Because people are always out to try to get you, to try to harm you, to try to bring you down, to try to make you slip. So you want to be conscious. And then the last chapter is, in conclusion, we are shifting our world. This is where I talk about how much I believe in us and how much we have the power to change our world. So that's the introduction to the book. So you think you want to have sex? Yay! Like I said, at the end of each chapter, you're going to see things in there like text messages. I ask questions at the end of each chapter. You're going to be doing work. Now, this is not requiring you to do research and all of that. It's just developing your conscious mind, building your skills, building your thinking, your critical thinking skills, helping you to walk through and process information. Is all it's doing. I ask questions. Here I'm asking questions about what is your why? Why are you even interested in having sex? What's got you thinking about sex, right? What's your motivation? What is your end game? What do you expect from it? What do you want to get out of it? I really want you to understand you, right? And how you're processing information in your life. More questions at the end of each chapter, plenty of room to fill it in, but again, I encourage you to get a notebook. Here I'm asking you to make that change, to be a thinker, not to be a hinge. You know, you got to change your pathway. Here I'm showing you the numbers. The number that the sexual influence, peer pressure, and then we got to look at how small the family support is. Family support is almost not even there. So we got to do a better job at helping our babies. Well, guys, this has been an introduction to So You Think You Want to Have Sex. I do want to thank you for joining me. This book is ready for pre-order. All you have to do is let me know you're interested in the book. For about a month, the book will be $14.99, available on Amazon, and then the price will go up at the end of August, more than likely, to $19.99. This is a really good book. I was in two different groups, and the women who are educated individuals, I'm talking about master degree holders, individuals, were like, they love this book. They wish they had it when they were raising children, and I wish I had it when I was a teen. I could have read through this and it could have been a benefit to me. So, and just because if you have a teen who already has a child, don't feel guilty about getting this book. It's going to help them prepare for the rest of their life. So if they already have a baby, if they're already having sex, it doesn't matter. This is a good book. They can start learning from the point of right now. Your children don't have to be perfect, but we definitely want them to be educated. So no matter where they are in life, already having sex, not have sex, got a baby already, doesn't matter. This book is still a good book for them to have. It's going to recreate how they think, how they process information. So I am Kathleen Harrod, your conscious coach. I'm also the author of this book, So You Think You Want to Have Sex, A Conscious Guide to Increasing Sexual Responsibility. Share this with your friends, this video, comment. Let me know if you would like to purchase this book. It's not supposed to be on Amazon Live right now. I just got off the phone with them because I took it down I took it down for right now, and it won't be live until August the 15th. You can pre-order now. You can do that through Cash App, PayPal, however you want to pay me. But I'm taking it down from Amazon right now, and it'll actually be released back on Amazon August the 15th. So that's only a couple of weeks from now, about 3 weeks from now. So I look forward to you making a purchase and telling me what you thought about the book. This will also be available in ebook format, but you'll still need notebooks because I'm asking questions. But you can get it in ebook format. I think it's $4.99. So again, thank you for joining me on this live. You will reduce struggle stories. You will help your children to create a plan for a better future. And you will learn how to have leadership within the family that will influence your children more than any outside resource. So those are the top 3 things that I'm excited that this book does. You guys, thanks for joining me on this live, and have yourself an amazing, great day. Stay safe out there, and remember, school is always in session because your children are always learning. Become the leader in your home. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining me on this live.